Hello, off the record, and welcome to Comic Stacked with Judah.
And Gabe.
Today we have 5 issues to talk about. We are lacking a classic issue, and we are lacking talking about Skinbreaker yet again. This is going to be an ongoing gag about how we push off doing Skinbreaker until this show either ends or we eventually get around to doing Skinbreaker.
Yes.
With that being said, we have a fun stack this week. And, the first book, Gabe, would you like to take it with giving credits?
All right, so our first book from DC Comics is the publisher. It's Absolute Flash number 12. This is the end of kind of the big story arc that they've been running for these first 12 issues. It's from writer Jeff Lemire and artist Nick Robles.
Mm-hmm.
Judah, what are your thoughts?
So we talked about this briefly before, which kind of rarely happens. Most of the time we save our thoughts for the show. I liked this. I thought this was a solid resolution. And, while there are things in Absolute Flash that have been foreshadowed that have not come to pass that I'm kind of waiting for, this did a solid job, in my opinion, of wrapping up what was there and what kind of has been going on as this one single story for these 12 issues. I enjoyed the fight between Wally and Thawne Beastman. I don't think we've named him yet. And I liked, spoiler alert, but BTW, spoilers. I liked his dad's sacrifice. I was invested in this probably more than Gabe was when he was reading it. And so that actually kind of hit. I kind of agree with you in retrospect about Grodd. I liked that Grodd was not Grodding, and I'm worried that Grodd is going to Grodd.
Yeah.
So I agree with you on that, but I do think overall I have a higher opinion of this book than you do. Now, dig into your thoughts.
Yeah. So I'll be honest, I was probably a little harsher when talking with Judah beforehand, just because that's how I am. Sometimes I get very critical on the get-go. But it came a little bit disappointing. There was a lot of really cool moments leading up to this in the other issues that I was expecting this to be kind of the climactic issue, and it didn't really give that for me. I felt a little underwhelmed by the battle overall. There wasn't a point where I felt a huge weight of stakes. It was like Wally punches him 3 times, he punches Wally 3 times, and then boom, Wally's dad sacrifices and ends the battle. And it's like, oh, that happened. I will say, I really liked the fact that they wrote it such that his dad made that sacrifice. I think that's really good. It shows a good moral, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then kind of the back half of the issue felt a little bit like just filling space to me. There was a little bit of setting things up, like, okay, the rogues are gonna move, and Wally is scared again, just like he was in the beginning of the first issue.
He's going back to the
in a broken hero's story journey type of deal. He's back to where he started in an unsatisfying way.
Well, yeah.
And then you've got the moment with Grodd and Grodd's dad. I'm gonna call him
Grodad.
Grodad. I guess I was trying to come up with something cool, but if you combine the first letters of Dad with the last letters of Grodd, it just becomes Dad. So Grodad. And apparently Grodad is like super hateful, and Grodd is like a child still.
Yeah, poor dad.
So I'm hoping that doesn't go terribly, because I really liked the idea of Grodd being like a sidekick. Like, that was cool. I'm
a big fan of that idea too. I hope that he doesn't become a villain.
Yeah.
But with that being said,
if Grodad becomes a villain,
I'm fine with that.
I could be okay.
I'm fine with that. Like, it gives him some stakes, and you give little Grodd arc. But star ratings.
Star rating, I gave it a 3.5.
I'm giving this a 4. I enjoyed it more. I think it's interesting because when Gabe disparages a comic, I think he'll rate it like a 2 or something. But it's like, he's pretty even-handed in the end with his rating. So, I'll give you credit for that. All right, moving on to our second issue for the week. This is The Amazing Spider-Man number 23. This is published by Marvel Comics and is the second part of the Spider-Man event, Death Spiral. And we have this from writer Joe Kelly, and artist Ed McGuinness. By the way, Ed McGuinness's art in this, mucho nai. Fantastic. I love it. It's great. It's classic. It reminds me of his time when he was doing the art for World's Finest, which I kind of grew up reading. So I have a little nostalgia for it. That being said, Gabe, thoughts?
Yeah, I will say there were a couple moments that were kind of confusing, but in this, and just to start negative, I'll get to the positive, don't worry, that were a little bit confusing until you remember that Ben Reilly was pretending to be Peter Parker and Norman Osborn was pretending to be Spider-Man up until this point.
Yes.
And it doesn't surprise me that that's confusing because anything with Ben Reilly is confusing. He's the GOAT, really confusing. Anyway, I really just liked a lot of the interaction between the characters in this issue. There wasn't a whole lot of building on the Death Spiral side of things, just a little bit. You got a little bit more about Carnage kind of escaping from Eddie Brock's control, which is kind of interesting. It makes me wonder where they're going. Is this Death Spiral, what is it, Torment is I think the name that's been assigned to him? I can't tell.
Yeah, maybe. Hold up.
That's another thing I'm a little bit confused about. Anyway, this Death Spiral guy, is he the main villain, or is it going to be like, ooh, plot twist that everybody saw coming, Carnage is the villain again? I don't know. We'll find out. But I really like the interpersonal interactions, specifically between Peter Parker, the actual Peter Parker, and you've got now MJ/Venom.
Which
and
was
so that's
really fun.
There's really fun, really funny, and like you get to see things there. The Aunt May with this Rick guy.
I think Rick guy. Okay.
Rick is cool.
Theory time. Rick guy is Death Spiral.
That's a wild take, but okay.
That's my theory. I'm throwing that out there.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that whole interaction. It was kind of weird. And
Yeah.
I understand the, like, pain of, oh, Peter left, and I guess maybe I'm just confused. Does this Aunt May know he's Spider-Man?
No. I
No?
don't think she does.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yes. So, again, this does a fantastic job because what has come before it has been, I think we said this last episode,
Terrible.
utter garbage.
Yes.
So, it's picking up on those broken pieces and it's building something off of them, which is like, we do have a faulty foundation. That doesn't mean the first floor is terrible looking. Like, this is
it doesn't mean
floor.
you can't patch the foundation while
yeah.
working on the first floor. And I think that's kind of what they're trying to do.
They are. And
they brought original Spider-Man, Peter Parker and Spider-Man back in to kind of...
And we have, like, MJ Venom coming out to him this time, and that's, like, I think that's an excellent interaction. I love the way that Venom is written in this.
Yeah.
I love the way that MJ and Venom are interacting, which when I was reading the all-new Venom, I was like, it felt dissident to the characters.
Yeah.
And in this, it feels more, like, true to them.
Yeah.
Again, I continue to praise Eddie Brock Carnage thing. I'm really interested to see where that goes. Got some theories. And the spoilers, biggest thing in this issue, they killed Shocker.
Yes.
Because his uncle's...
It's a very, very distant connection to the last name Watson.
Which is Mary Jane's last name.
Yeah, which I think is kind of, now that we're 2 issues in and I've had time to think on it, I think that's kind of the point of Death Spiral. Is he spirals in closer and closer to the actual name of the person.
Killing everyone around
killing just everyone closer and closer and closer to them themselves until my guess is the center of the spiral is the person.
Yeah.
And this is just his weird serial killer.
And I think that he's going after Eddie Brock, and I think he's going after Mary Jane Watson.
And Ben Reilly.
Ben Reilly and Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And I'm really interested to see where this goes. And again, it would be interesting if he was Carnage's pawn, but I don't think he is. Because like, you look at, I mean, maybe the Parker killings just because Carnage find out who Spider-Man was, right? But, like, I don't know. I think maybe he's using Carnage. That could be a thing. I don't know. I have theories about it. We don't know much about him, and we're probably going to find out some more about him next issue. But
the only thing that makes me wonder why it makes me wonder the whole Carnage thing is A, Carnage is helping him, but then B, you get the panel after he killed Shocker that said Carnage ruled.
Yeah.
Which is that him being like, oh, I want to be like Carnage? Or is that being like, I want to reinstate Carnage as Carnage?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out, maybe.
We are going to find out. It's very interesting. I gave it 4 stars. I think
Same.
maybe even rounding up in retrospect, depending on where this story goes,
Yeah.
to like 4.25. But 4 stars solidly from both
Yep.
of us. And now we get our lovely next issue, which I'll take and let you do them all. Which will be our 4th issue. So
Spoilers.
we have JSA number 17. This is published by DC Comics. This is part 5 of year 1 for the JSA, and this is written by Jeff Lemire with excellent art by Gavin Goodry. And that's not the only story that is contained in this issue, because we have the prelude to the Search for the Spectre, also written by Jeff Lemire, but with art by Joey Vasquez. So I really like this. And shout out to DCKO, which we also read, and we'll do our own special episode on DCKO, which should hit you on Saturday. Outside of DCKO, this is the best issue I read this week.
Yeah, probably.
Like, it's fantastic. I love the continuation of the story we're getting. I love bringing our heroes together. I think I talked about this last time. Ultra Humanite, big fan of him. OG Superman villain. I like the way they're using him in the story. I like Amazing Man. It is a little bit of whiplashy going from one story to the other. Yeah. Because it does feel like, oh, well, I guess Jay Garrick was just reminiscing about the past.
Yeah.
When the bomb goes off and, they have to save the city. Like,
I thought that was the end of it, and it was just like, oh, and then I realized, no, we've got another issue.
Yeah, we've got another issue, which is good. I'm excited to see the finale of this story. But yeah, I really like this. And again, you picked up like halfway through this series, so I want to get your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I'm definitely really enjoying it. It's fun to see the character interactions because, it's called year 1, but it's more like year 0 because it's before they're actually a justice society. So a bit of a misnomer, but it's, you get to see all those beginning interactions, and as they're dealing with the Ultra Humanite and all of the details there, and, chaos ensues, and you've got little squabbling and bickering and stuff like that going on, and it's really fun to just read and have a good time with it. I do agree, it was a very abrupt shift into the next story, which was really confusing, and given that I jumped on halfway through the year 1 series, and so I have no idea anything else about JSA, that whole story made no sense to me.
Yeah.
Because they're like, these people left, and I'm like, I didn't know they were part of the JSA. And they're like, and these people are still there, and I'm like, I didn't know they were part of the JSA either.
I didn't even know they existed.
And these people are returning, and I'm like, I didn't know they were part of the JSA either, or that they had left. So all of the cool moments there were probably just missed on me. I still gave it 4.2 stars, somewhere in that range.
Well, I give it 4.5. I think it's really solid. I love what Jeff Lemire is doing on this book. And I really hope that we don't just get like back to present JSA. I hope that he gets to go back and flesh out the history of the JSA in this, maybe spoilers for DCKO 5, in this new world that we've been kind of built. So that being said, excellent issue. Really enjoyed it. Definitely. Of the ones we're reviewing on this show, I think both of us put this as top issue.
Yep.
Okay. And then Gabe has we're changing worlds from what we normally cover. So you guys should be excited about this. All right.
This is from Marvel Comics, but it's not the Marvel you would think. It's a Star Wars issue. It's Shadow of Maul #1, written by. Here we go. Where's the writer? Okay, here we go. Sorry, Marvel lays out their things on the app really weird.
They do.
Written by Benjamin Percy, and then artist is Matevek Musabekov.
Yeah,
I think
you said that right. Yeah. And we apologize if we butchered your name.
And then I got the Dan Panosian variant because it's sick.
Shout out Dan Panosian.
Shout out.
Yeah.
All right, what are your thoughts on this one, since this was my poll?
So this is slow. That's okay. This is a mini-series. It can start slow. But it's frustratingly slow to the point that we have kind of really 2 stories that lead into the final 2-3 pages of Darth Maul. And maybe it's just me, but I wanted a little more Darth Maul in my Darth Maul book. But I mean, it's like I understand establishing like Darth Maul's not the perspective character. We gotta establish the perspective character, the world, the situation he's in, yada yada yada, the interview that's going on, all that good stuff. But like, give me more Maul. And it's not that it's poorly written or poorly drawn or anything like that. It's just that where's my Maul? You know what I mean? So like, I think it's an okay starting point for this miniseries. Slightly disappointing to me. I would probably give it like 3 stars. Like I think very highly of it. I think Benjamin Percy's an excellent writer, and I think that the series is probably gonna get better from here because we finally have Darth Maul in a book titled Maul. But with that being said, Gabe, your thoughts?
Yeah. Pretty much agree across the board. I was reading it and I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. We've got this like captain guy and he's, this dude and he does like policey type things on this planet called like Janix, I think. And I'm like, all right, I'm vibing with this. He's getting interrogated, bro messed up, and then we get to find out about his mess up and I'm like, okay. Here we go. In this mess up, it's going to be like Maul comes in and kills half of his squad, and so they're panicking, right? That's what I'm expecting. And it's like basically a drug bust, except it's weird. It's like not drugs. It's poison from weird aliens. Star Wars, I guess. Yeah. And it's a bust that goes horribly wrong. And so then he gets assigned to a second team, and then he's suspicious of a guy on that team. So then he creates a fake stakeout so that one of the guys on the team would reveal that he's bad. Mm-hmm. And then they capture the guy. Mm-hmm. And then someone, we don't know who, shoots the guy. Mm-hmm. And he dies. Mm-hmm. And then we flash back to the room where he's getting interrogated, and he just walks out. And then you get 2 pages of Darth Maul, and it's basically just him being like, I need a ship. And the guy being like, this is a good ship. And then being like, I need the ship, but not you. And then killing him, which is goated. That was amazing. Yeah. Best part of the book was the last 2 pages. The rest of the book was, it's not bad. The writing was good. It was engaging. It was interesting. The art is definitely good. It's just, I bought a Maul book.
And I don't have any Maul.
I want more than 2 pages of Maul, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
But that's 3 stars for me.
3 stars, yeah. That's
okay. Final issue of the week. I'm sorry, I apologize. We're breaking the format of this show. We don't have a classic issue this time. We probably will next week if I'm
probably just pulling from my comics.
Probably.
My old comic stack.
Yeah. But we have from DC Comics, we have my favorite long title ever, Batman, Green Arrow, The Question, Arcadia, from Gabriel Hardman, who is writer and artist. And then they also credit, secondly, because Gabriel Hardman is writer and artist, the colorist, who is Romulo Fajardo Jr.
I don't know.
Yeah, I butchered that. This is whelming. I think this book should have just been one self-contained graphic novel, and I feel like it would be infinitely better. Mm-hmm. I feel like they've found a way to split the story into 4, which is like okay, but at the same time, I feel like it takes away from it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I do love the art in this. The narrative is slightly confusing, but I do love the characterization of Question, Green Arrow, Batman, yada yada yada. There's cool action in this issue. There's, good stuff, but it just kind of is a part of the story. It itself does not tell a story in a grand scale that weaves other stories together. It is just a part of a story, and it's okay. It's like 3.5 stars. That's my take. Gabe, I'm wondering what you think.
I agree. It's the issue is it's a Black Label comic, not for any sort of bad content. It's just because it's more mature in the amount of words
and themes.
Because of that, that's where a lot of the issues come from, I think.
Yeah.
Is a lot of these other comics that we're reading, they can be split across 3, 4, 5, 9 issues because there's not a whole lot of information you need to remember and not a ton of setup that you need to remember between each. It's mostly like there's 5 really important things and everything else will remind you about in the next issue when it applies,
Yeah.
This one, it's all about reading. Like, there's a lot more reading, and there's a lot more
Like
things.
I said, it should just be a book. It should be one graphic novel.
There's a lot more things that you need to keep track of. And so when I'm having to wait sometimes 2 months for the next issue because, they take a while to create it, which is understandable.
It's one guy, I understand.
It's one guy, I get it. But, it takes a while to make it. And so when I have to wait 2 months, I probably forgot everything from the last issue. And I don't want to have to reread all the issues every time I read the next one.
Yeah.
That said, I gave it 3 stars. It was good story, interesting, like really solid action in there. And it's something where my plan is once the 4th one releases, I'm going to reread them all and probably reevaluate them all from there. Because I think it is, again, like we've been saying, it needs to just be one story. So it needs to be evaluated as if it was one story.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just how it's going to look best.
Yeah. So, I agree. There's not much more to say.
Yeah.
I think Gabriel
It's not bad.
Hardman is doing a fantastic job on this series, but I think it should have just been one graphic novel. All right. Final segment of the show. But before we get to our pull lists, you know what you got to do. If you're not, hit the subscribe button. Go hit the like button. Or if you don't like what we said at all today, hit the dislike button and leave a comment with reading suggestions and your pull lists. And I think Gabe caught up on finished the story of Captain America. Thought it was pretty good. We might continue that. We might start picking up ongoing, which would be interesting.
We'll have to see.
And then Skinbreaker, I promise. At some point, we are going to communicate and get ahead of the ball and read Skinbreaker #1.
Yeah.
But with that being said, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Anything else you have to say. And we're going to dig into our pull list before we bid you adieu. Gabe, would you like to start us off for next week?
Yeah, I've got a pretty light pull list for next week, just 2 issues. Absolute Batman #18. This is the continuation of the Poison Ivy story from the last one. I pulled the Declan Shalvey variant because it's got Batman and he looks cool on the front. Yeah. And then my second issue is from, both of these are DC Comics, by the way, if you couldn't tell by the names. The second one is Emperor Aquaman #15. I'm excited for this. The Aquaman run's been fun.
Yeah.
I hope this is cool. It looks pretty cool
too.
I pulled the Gilliam March variant because it makes Aquaman look goated.
Yes. So, digging into next week, we got Action Comics 1096. I'm not picking up main cover because I think there's dope for this new Reign of the Superboys thing. I think there's a dope connecting cover, all drawn by Skylar Patridge. So I'm picking up the Cover E Skylar Patridge corner box variant, which it has Booster Gold on it. So I'm excited. That means he's probably in the book. I'm also picking up Emperor Aquaman #15. Well, it's really Emperor Aquaman #1, but Aquaman #15, Emperor Aquaman #1. Just the base cover. It's the way it is. And then Supergirl #11, same thing. Skylar Patridge variant. And Venom #255, which is Death Spiral Part 3. And that's everything that we'll find a classic issue. I promise. But that's everything we're going to talk about next week. Unless we get to Skinbreaker, which we might.
We probably will.
With that being said, good morning, good evening, and good night. Gabe, shout out someone drinking something somewhere.
Yeah, if you are drinking Pib Extra right now, that's a shout out to you.
Shout out to you. All right, God bless, and bye-bye.